favorite vase?
She always says don't play ball in the house.
Pork chops and applesauce. That's swell.
Marcia. Hey, you guys. Oh, my nose!
Welcome to Here's the Story, a Brady Bunch podcast. Hey, I'm not going to tear this thing apart. It's my favorite show. It's episode 8, A Camping We Will Go. The title is taken from a children's song sung to the tune to A Farmer in the Dell. A camping we will go, a camping we will go, hi-ho the dairy-o, a camping we will go. The Bradys are going camping. How cool is that? Mike and Carol are getting the gear out of the carport and knocking off mounds of dust. They say the stuff's been packed away for over a year since Mike took the boys last time, like he does every year. So I guess they're pretending they didn't live in a different house a few months ago. Well, on the other hand, this is the 13th episode filmed, so 5 other episodes were filmed before this one that haven't even aired yet. So now it's time for all the girls to join in on the annual camping trip. Side note, this was the last time the Bradys ever went camping. The boys don't want the girls to go, and the girls don't want to go, so Mike and Carol have to convince them. It wasn't hard. They just told them they were going, and they'll like it. Problem solved. As they pack up the old station wagon, we see that Alice has to sit in the back with the luggage. That's not right. And Cindy has to sit unbuckled on her mom's lap up front. Those wild and crazy 60s when safety was never a concern. But before they leave, one by one, they remember they haven't used a bathroom. Except for Mike. He plans ahead, so he gets to just wait in the car for the rest of them. But Marcia finally moves her arms around when she runs, so there's hope for her. And they're off. I joked last time about Bobby's kazoo playing being the debut of the Brady musical career to come, but this episode really has a more appropriate debut of sorts. They're singing together in the car.
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can't you hear the traffic stop?
Wow, look at that lake. They just drove to the most inviting location for camping ever. If it looks familiar to you, it's because it's the same one seen during the opening credits of the Andy Griffith Show. It looks so much better in color. It was also seen in color in a Star Trek episode, but I don't recommend watching that one because I've always considered it to be the worst of the series. I call it Key Rock, but it's really titled The Paradise Syndrome.
I have found paradise. Surely no man has ever attained such happiness.
Carol gets to work cleaning up the area, and Mike shows us where Greg gets his sarcastic humor from by saying a line I'd like to think that I would say.
There, that's much neater, isn't it?
Oh, much. Thanks, honey. Certainly have dusted off the dirt.
Well, now they have to fish for their food. This is where I would tap out. I don't eat seafood. Maybe Mike would have taught me how to hunt. The girls mess up the fishing, but they brought plenty of emergency food and saved the day. Well, now I'm hungry. There are no other actors in this episode beyond the 9 regulars, but they are at an actual outdoor location for the first time. And it would be the last time until they go to the Grand Canyon at the beginning of Season 3. Mike and Carol get some alone time around the campfire under the stars, but only for a minute until the girls and boys start yelling from their tents. So it's time to get some shut-eye inside their TARDIS tents. Yes, they're much bigger on the inside. Plenty of fun happens throughout the night. The girls get scared, then they scare the boys, and it ends up with all 9 of them wrestling around under a collapsed tent. It was over too fast. There's a brief shot of an owl that was taken from Daniel Boone. I love those Disney Daniel Boone movies, especially the Riverboat Pirates. After their 3-day camping trip, they're back at the Brady home, and we get to see Greg come up to his parents' room for the first time, and give kind of a sappy ending to the show. Barry Williams, Greg, said they filmed a different ending that he liked better, where the boys got back at the girls with another prank, but it went unused. Christopher Knight, Peter, said this was his favorite episode of the series. 20% of this episode is just music being played while the actors engage in slapstick comedy. The longest for the series so far is in this episode with a 1 and 21-second sequence of Alice just messing around with her sleeping bag. Very funny stuff. And this episode completes the sequences used on the second piece of Brady Bunch merchandise. Kitty Carryall was the first, and the King Seeley metal lunchbox was the second. This Brady Bunch lunchbox from 1970 depicts a camping we will go on the back, the honeymoon on the front, and a clubhouse is not a home on the sides, all with a bit of artistic license. Until next time.